The ballroom glowed with gold and red, every surface reflecting Christmas lights that shimmered like false promises. A live band played cheerful carols, their notes swallowed by laughter and the steady hum of conversation. Elena felt none of it. To her, the room was silent, except for the pounding of her heart. The table had been set near the edge of the dance floor, deliberately casual, as if the stack of papers resting on it were nothing more than a menu or a guest list. But Elena knew better. Divorce documents. Final. Unforgiving. Her fingers curled tightly around the pen Marcus had placed in her hand, the metal cold against her skin. "Let's do this now," Marcus muttered, leaning closer so no one else could hear. His jaw was clenched, irritation flashing in his eyes. "Everyone's distracted. It's the perfect time." Elena searched his face, hoping, foolishly, for hesitation, for regret, for even a flicker of the man she once loved. She found none. He looked relieved, almost eager, as though cutting her loose was the last item on his holiday checklist. Around them, coworkers raised glasses and posed for photos, unaware that a marriage was ending just steps away. Elena's vision blurred. She tried to steady her breathing, but the weight of the moment crushed her chest. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. Not here. Not like this. Her hand trembled as she bent over the papers. A tear slipped free, splashing onto the signature line and smearing the ink. Marcus sighed loudly, glancing around in embarrassment. "Elena, please," he whispered. "Don't cry. You're making this harder than it needs to be." Harder for who? The thought burned, but she said nothing. With a final, shaky stroke, she signed her name. The pen slipped from her fingers and rolled across the table. For a brief second, the world seemed to tilt. The music swelled, laughter erupted nearby, and Elena realized that in a room full of people, she had never felt more alone. Elena stepped onto the balcony and closed the glass door behind her, muting the music and laughter as if she were shutting out another life. Cold air rushed over her tear-streaked face, sharp and cleansing. She gripped the railing, knuckles whitening, and stared down at the city dressed in Christmas lights. From above, everything looked perfect, orderly, bright, untouchable. Nothing like the chaos inside her chest. Behind the glass, shadows moved. She could sense the glances already drifting her way. Pity was louder than cruelty. It clung to her like perfume she couldn't wash off. Poor Elena. The words echoed without being spoken. The woman who tried to hold on to a successful husband. The wife who failed. Fragments of whispers floated through the door when it opened briefly. Did you see her face? She must be terrified. How will she manage now? He really upgraded his life, didn't he? Each sentence landed like a small cut. They all assumed she had nothing without Marcus. No money, no influence, no future. Elena let out a shaky laugh that dissolved into a sigh. If only they knew how carefully she'd built this illusion. The modest clothes, the quiet lifestyle, the refusal to attend high-profile events with him. She had wanted love, not leverage. She reached into her clutch and felt the familiar edge of her phone. One message blinked on the screen, deal finalized. Awaiting your signal. It was from her legal team. From her world. The one she kept locked away. Elena closed her eyes. Tonight hurt more than she expected. The humiliation was real, the tears real. But beneath the pain, something else was waking, clarity. Marcus hadn't just left her. He had revealed himself. And that, she realized, was a gift. Straightening her shoulders, Elena wiped her face and took a deep breath. The woman they pitied no longer existed. When she walked back inside, she would still wear the same simple dress, but the balance of power had already shifted. The lights in the ballroom dimmed slightly, and the band slowed to a polite finish. Conversations tapered off as the CEO stepped onto the small stage, tapping the microphone with an uncertain smile. "If I could have everyone's attention, please," he said. His voice wavered, not with excitement, but with nerves. Elena had just stepped back inside from the balcony. She paused near the wall, instinct telling her something was about to change. She felt it in the air, the subtle tightening of the room, the way senior managers straightened their posture as if an invisible authority had entered. The CEO cleared his throat. "I know tonight is about celebration," he continued, "but we've finalized something extraordinary today. A deal that secures the future of this company." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Marcus, holding a drink near the center of the room, smirked with satisfaction. He leaned toward a colleague, already basking in imagined praise. Our expansion, the CEO said carefully, was made possible by a new majority shareholder. Someone who prefers privacy, but who has graciously agreed to be acknowledged tonight. The doors at the far end of the ballroom opened. A quiet, commanding presence swept in, 3 executives in tailored coats, followed by a senior legal advisor Elena recognized well. Heads turned, whispers sharpened into gasps. The CEO lifted his hand, pointing past the crowd. Please welcome Ms. Elena Vale, founder and owner of Vale Global. Silence crashed over the room. Marcus's smile vanished. His glass slipped from his fingers and shattered on the floor, unnoticed. He stared as Elena stepped forward, calm and composed, the same woman he'd dismissed minutes earlier, yet entirely transformed. No tears, no trembling, just certainty. Elena, someone whispered. That Elena. She met the CEO's gaze and gave a small nod. In that moment, the truth settled into every corner of the room. The abandoned wife was an illusion. The billionaire had been standing among them all along. The silence lingered, heavy and absolute, until Elena broke it with a gentle smile. She walked toward the center of the ballroom, heels steady against the marble floor. Every step felt deliberate, grounded, not triumphant, not cruel. Just final. Merry Christmas, she said softly, her voice carrying without effort. I apologize for the surprise. I've always believed important things don't need to be announced, only honored. No one spoke. Glasses were lowered, phones forgotten. The room that had pitied her moments ago now watched with awe. The CEO inclined his head respectfully. Ms. Vale, we're honored, he said. His tone was formal now, deferential. The power shift was unmistakable. Elena turned slightly, her gaze passing over Marcus for the first time since the reveal. He stood frozen, face pale, eyes wide with disbelief. She didn't glare or accuse. She simply looked at him, briefly, calmly, as one might look at a closed chapter. That hurt him more than anger ever could. Effective immediately, Elena continued, addressing the room, the board will be restructured. Details will follow tomorrow. She paused, then added kindly, tonight is still a celebration. Please enjoy it. Security appeared quietly at Marcus's side. There was no drama, no raised voices. Just a polite request and a firm escort. He didn't resist. As he passed Elena, their eyes met once more. He opened his mouth, searching for words, but none came. The orchestra resumed, hesitant at first, then full and bright. Conversation slowly returned, buzzing with disbelief and admiration. Champagne flowed again, but the atmosphere had changed forever. Elena stepped back, toward the balcony, snow still falling beyond the glass. The tears she'd shed earlier no longer owned her. She had signed away a marriage in front of strangers, but reclaimed her name, her strength, and her future. And this time, everyone saw who she truly was.